All right.
Come this way.
So when the computer's locked, let's see if I can lock this real quick. It says video. That's the same as video. You're in. Pro Presenter, Keynote, and PowerPoint. So whichever one. Yeah. So whichever is your preference, we have all three available. We just had Pro Presenter, and Gary's like, "Hey, I was here on Wednesday, and it would be nice if we had PowerPoint." And you may check with you two to see what you're using. So we have all three. Screen one is what you see here. If you move your mouse off to the side, now you're on those screens right there.
Oh, okay.
That's how that works. Something we can talk about later on. So if we're doing services at the exact same time, we also have the ability.
Live.
We can get the feed from the worship center. So this is a link on the computer, and these are the various destinations. And here's our sources right now. So the student Mac is going to the student left and student right. If you wanted the, let's say, the left monitor, left monitor, I want the Pro Presenter feed from the worship center. Click it quickly. So that changed, and that's what's in the worship center right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So what that allows us to do is we'll have a camera in the worship center as well. So if you wanted to be like, oh, hey, we want worship from that room in here, you just bring up the volume from the worship center, and then you change your feed. And you can have slides and worship or the camera or whatever you want. To change it back, you can either hit this one. This is kind of our template scene, and then hit take. And it brings it back to.
So Justin is saying if you want to hear him sing on Sunday mornings,
there it goes. It goes back. So that's the video.
Okay.
If you don't want to use this computer as the source that goes to the screens, on the back, if you come over here, we're just going out of a display port to HDMI, and it goes to this little box. And all this box does is it converts HDMI to a video line that we run hundreds of feet through the building. So if you just connect this HDMI and plug it into whatever you want, computer, different machine, whatever, it will go on the screen.
Okay.
Good. So if you come in on a morning and you're like, oh, someone left it from last week or a Wednesday night, and it doesn't look right. In this browser, what we have is we open a browser. It's saved as the first favorite, Kumo. Why is it doing left click every time?
what's it called, Justin?
Kumo 1616. This first button that's green.
Is this a program that you guys bought, or did somebody develop it here?
So this is a video router. So every line in the church, the source, goes to a router, and every TV comes from the router. So this line right here doesn't go to these TVs; it goes to the router.
Okay.
And then the router connects to these TVs. So if I'm in the worship center, and I was like, I would really love your notes. I can change. I can come projector left, hit student iMac, and now those screens will change to what you're sharing right here.
So, are we gonna have like Wi-Fi for just attendees, or no?
We do. So we have a church Wi-Fi, both staff and a guest Wi-Fi.
Right.
I don't think the guest has a password on it, so anyone's welcome to use that. If there's a need where you guys need to have a separate account or Wi-Fi password, you can see how that works.
I don't see that being a necessity.
Okay. So yeah, that's really it. There's a lot more complicated stuff in the background, but for what we're gonna do, you just click your student left, student right, and then you change. And so that's our conference monitor. So that's what we read from the back wall of the stage. And if you come in and everything looks crazy, just go back to number one here, and hit take, and it resets it back to Sunday morning is what we call it. That's it. So that is the computer. Any questions on the computer and how to get stuff to the screens?
If we, for example, if we play if I want to access the PowerPoint through my email, can I
Pull up your email.
just
Pull up your email through Safari,
okay?
Gmail, whatever it's
Okay.
in, and then PowerPoint or whatever.
Is it downloadable? Can I save it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to put a folder in the desktop,
Okay.
you can
Okay.
save that.
Okay.
Student ministry uses this, so if it's something that, you don't want them messing with or anything like that, maybe just do it day of, or should be fine. But if I click, let me see if I can do a quick PowerPoint here. Get started. Create a quick slideshow here. This screen no one sees. The screen to the right is what is up there.
Okay.
And so when you do your slideshow, you'll have the kind of presenter note screen here, and then what's actually being presented will be on the second screen. So if we go to slideshow, play from start. So here's what we see. That's what you see up there, and just you do your arrows.
Good. I love this one.
Okay. So that is the slideshow. All right. Any questions on that?
Not this time.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll leave you my number too. So Sunday morning, if anything's like, hey, you mentioned this, but it's not doing what you thought it would, give me a call.
Okay.
All right. Soundboard. Speakers are always on right now. We'll have a switch eventually so we can turn speakers off, but right now those two speakers are always on. I have a little power note here, so the power button is on the back of the soundboard. Turn it on. These are your main left and right, so they are split. I put the line up there. That's kind of usually where we have them set. And if you just grab music from Spotify, here we go. iMac is where the audio is coming from. So as we raise that, I have been playing. Let me see. Let's see. Which one's plugged in here?
It's not receiving.
Okay. Okay. So troubleshooting 101.
Yeah.
Disconnect and replug it in. So this is the volume on iMac. That does nothing if your mains are down. So you can raise it as much as you want, but the mains need to be up. So that's how we get audio from the computer to here. We have a Spotify account. If you want to create a playlist on that, you can create. There's no advertising.
Right.
So you can add songs into your playlist and then play your playlist whenever you want. One thing to note, these are the mutes. They're kind of hard to see with light in here. So generally, we keep things muted if it's not being used. So if you're doing this and you tested that, you may check that.
Okay.
Then, pause here. So here's the wireless. Group 5, channel 8, it's already saved on both of these. We have another wireless unit. I'm just getting a lapel mic ordered for it, so it should be in next week. So we'll have two in this room. One will be A, one will be B. A is on the Preach wireless. So if you press and hold this, it turns on. Yep, this gets turned on.
And that's what you want him to use this week.
Yep. You can use this week, or you can use this, or you can use the mic up there, whichever your preference is. Let's see here. Plug this in. Press and hold the power. As you can see, I labeled everything, not knowing who's all using it, but press and hold the power button. And now we should have check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check check check. So there's the mic.
Okay.
Lapel. We're in front of the speaker, so it might get a little feedback, but where you're going to be on the stage, you'll be fine.
Okay.
But there's the volume control for this.
Okay.
I'm not sure who is using this. Are you, Josh, mostly using the soundboard?
I think so.
Okay. How familiar are you with gain structures?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're set. So if it's feeding back, you can bring the gain down because this is just really going to be changing your volume, not the gain.
Okay.
This is set to the same Group 5 channel 8. It's labeled A, same as that. So when you have two of them, you'll know which one to use. And that's it for that part. Okay. And then the last piece, let me grab the mic and I'll show you off the stage. Actually, we'll just go over here. We'll start up this. So this is the snake. And that is, it runs up the wall over there into the booth.
I love how clean this thing is.
Yeah, we tried. I'm a little OCD with wiring, so it's like,
Yeah.
I asked for a flush mount, and that's what they sent me. I was like, oh, I wanted to be like more recessed.
Yeah.
So these numbers, 1 through 8, correspond to 1 through 8 on the snake. And so all of those they're all labeled 1 through 8 at the back of the board. So if we come in, I'm not sure if you're using an instrument or not, but if we come in and we say, let's plug into channel 6, take this off. All right, let's walk over here. So channel 6 has a corresponding channel 6.
Okay.
You can put this anywhere in the board you want. So if we put it into, we'll just say line 4. Check, 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 check. There it is, number 4.
Okay.
So the numbers on the snake correspond to the numbers on the tail, not necessarily where it is on the board.
Okay.
So as long as you're just remembering that, that can be put, you know, we bring over here, same thing. Check, 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 check. Check. Not muted. Game was down. Check, check, check. There it is. So just move across, and the game was dropped. So that's what it was going there. While we're talking about the board, this has built-in effects. So if you do want a little color on the voice, I would want to do it when you're speaking, obviously, but if someone's singing, this is the built-in effects. And you can change them by just going down or up. How you add them is by this yellow knob right here. So I'm on channel, what channel is this? Channel 6. I'll go down and I'll start adding effects. Now nothing's coming in because the master is right here. As I raise that, check, check, now you're hearing effects on my voice. So this is the master for everybody. How much you want it in each channel is driven by this guy. Check, 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 it's out. Check, 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 it's back in. So certain channels like your preaching, you probably always have off, and you can have on the ones for people who are singing, and they can just stay there. So that's how that works, and then you can just change the different versions of effects that work.
Wow.
Check, check. And then the tap is just like you think from like a delay. Tapping fast.
Oh.
Check, check.
Wow.
So if you can time that with anything you're doing. So
see.
that's how that works. Once again, if this is down, you have no effects. If this is up, but it's not on the channel, you have no effects.
Okay.
So that's how those two. Any questions about that portion of it?
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, the beauty of this system is we want to make it super simple.
Yes. Right.
So
I can see
you
that.
can put 8 things on the board. You can patch them in how you need here. You can actually send. So you can go out of the board, and if you need a floor wedge on the stage, or if you want a speaker up there, you can do that.
Okay. If we want to hook up the keyboard or the same thing. Okay.
You just need a direct box.
Yep, I actually put one up there for you guys today.
Okay.
So direct box is there. You would just plug into that and then put this wherever you want. Really, I think just you and student ministries are going to be using this, and I don't know how much of a band student ministry. So at this point, you label it as yours. So preacher here, second wireless here, vocal 1, vocal 2 keys, great. Sharpie, go for it.
Okay.
If you change your mind, I can give you some extra tape.
The tape. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, I would say is once we have something set, let's try and keep it so every week it's not changing, and we'll let the student ministry team know, hey, Sunday mornings we have a group that meets here that uses this board. If you're thinking of making a change, shoot you guys an email so you're
Okay.